Yeah, no, it was great. I thought our guys played great. Dillon was sensational, man.
Dillon makes his first start in 13 months in first and in Liberty uniform, and I know he looked shaky against Campbell, TCU, but what had you seen out of him recently that you knew you could throw him out there against the 12th ranked team in the nation and know he could take you into the seventh with only one hit allowed?
Well, I mean, I think it starts with being a little bit aware of why you didn't have success and kind of owning it a little bit, and he did that. He owned it and said, I need to get better. There was probably a moment after TCU where he was up in Coach Williams' office and, just looking at some things and location, talking to Gray. I mean, Gray's been a big part of it too. And, then you bring him in there, down at the D-bat with the wind blowing out. It's a great matchup. I mean, the metrics on his ball say that, the ball should be hit on the ground and it's got some sink to it. And, so he's gone to work with it, and he's worked while he waited. We said that, yesterday with Brady Gulikowski, who popped one out, and you can either feel sorry for yourself or you can get in there and work and find a way. And usually, and I'm a firm believer that this game rewards kids that do that, and he's done it. And here's what you see tonight.
Did you expect him to go this deep in the game, or were you planning on just getting a couple innings out of him and then riding the bullpen the rest of the way?
I didn't know what to expect. I'll say this: there's some hitters in that Virginia Tech lineup that that scare me a little bit. And you watch them on video, and of course they're coming back from Winston-Salem where they hit 10 home runs in one weekend, and so they're feeling good about themselves. I didn't know what to expect. I'll give Matt Williams all the credit in the world because Matt Williams is the one that believed in Dillon the most. Not that I didn't, but Matt said, hey, this is the guy. We need to go with Dillon and give him a chance to kind of, just extend him and see what happens. The thing I like about it is it's a lot of strikes. It's a lot of pace. I think his outing really helped our offense because you get off the field and you get back in the dugout and you spend a lot of time in that dugout together. It creates energy. And I think that's a credit to Dillon Cummings tonight because we were able to get off the field pretty quick. He had some quick innings and gave us a chance to do what we did.
Was that a key with him? I don't think he went deep into counts very much, and he was able to get a lot of early contact. Was that something you guys discussed coming into this game, or is that something that as you saw with it as aggressive as Virginia Tech batters was, you wanted him to try to get out of the get those outs as quickly as possible? Well,
you nailed it right there. We knew Virginia Tech was aggressive, and they are aggressive, and they showed that tonight. I think he had a couple 1 or 2 pitch outs, in multiple innings. And so when you have the ball that's doing that and his changeup, and you've got aggressive guys, it's going to be on the ground for the most part. I like our defense. It gives us a chance to really play and do some things. So it was a great matchup. Obviously, it's on paper it's going to look great, but you got to go out there and do it. And Dillon did it tonight.
Offense took a while to get some offense going against Paducah, but Logan's homer in the third. What did that do to create some momentum for you guys, so that way you guys could finally strike when the iron was hot there in the fifth? Yeah, no, Ryan Okuda has not been fun for us over his 4 or 5 years at Virginia Tech. We've seen him often, and he's good. He can really do some things to mix and match. He's got 3 or 4 pitches and really does a good job keeping you off balance. I think the key with him is to be patient enough to get yourself in a good count. And Logan did that and got a ball up. And, anytime you strike first, it's a good thing. I wish there would have been a couple more runners on there, not just a solo shot, but we'll take the 1-0 lead. And, I thought we really did some good things with 2 strikes tonight. Tyler Cannon just did a great job preparing our hitters for exactly what they were going to see tonight. Virginia Tech's thrown 22 different pitchers this year. So that's as much preparation as we're going to have to do all year long. And, Tyler Cannon sits in there on the computer and watches all their arms and has a great plan for each guy that went out there tonight. So I think a lot of that credit goes to Tyler Cannon for getting our guys an idea what to look for and how they're going to try to execute in certain situations. And he was dead on tonight. For as many wins as you've gotten this year against ACC teams, I think that's 5 of them, plus you had the UCF sweep. Where does this win rank in terms of, you beat a team that's ranked in 5 of the 6 major polls to, come out here and decisively beat a team that's been ranked most of the year and add that to your resume? Well,
they're all big, and anytime you have a game and it's right there in front of you, they all mean something. Sure, it means a lot for us to have an in-state ACC team come in here Credit to John and Brian and those guys that are willing to come to Lynchburg. We feel like we've got a great place, and we try to do it up right here with a 4-man crew, and they've got replay, and so it feels kind of, I think, like a normal game for them from that perspective. So anytime you have them come in here, it's going to be a big game. But quite honestly, I think our kids feel like we if we play well, we can beat anybody. We put this schedule together so that our guys can understand what it takes to win in the postseason, because you're going to play teams of that caliber in the postseason. Playing them is one thing, beating them is another, and you got to find out and you got to understand what it takes to do that. The only way you're gonna figure that out is to do it and to play them and to compete with them and get on the same field with them. So our guys, we've got some older players that have had that success dating back to 2019. I think we went, something like 7-3 against the ACC. So they expect that. They know what it takes, and I think you're seeing some of that this year. Those guys, their heart rate doesn't go up just because there's another uniform over there that might be a bigger school or play in a bigger conference.
Last one from me, Scott. And Fraser Ellard looked like he came in the 7th just to settle things down, but a 3-inning save out of him.
Yeah.
What'd you like out of what he was able to do with getting some strikeouts, getting some ground outs, and really stemming the tide and not allowing Virginia Tech to capitalize when they had multiple runners on base there in the 7th inning?
Well, first of all, he's been sensational for us this year. He had some growing to do as far as getting us off the field, coming out of that bullpen, coming and sitting down, and then going back out and being just as effective in that attack mode. He did that tonight, man. Holy cow. He was attacking with his fastball. You come out of the bullpen, you got that adrenaline, and then you sit for a while, and sometimes it's hard. It's hard to go back out there and lock yourself back in and find that good medium with the adrenaline level. And he had it tonight, and he's worked at it. Again, that's Matt Williams. Hey, this is another step we need to take. He's always amped up, and there's a fine line being too amped up and then, being able to stay at that level that allows you to execute and stay under control. And he's worked at it, and his routine in the bullpen and his focus and his focal points, all those things are big for Frazier, and, that's the result you saw tonight.
To backtrack really quick, to Cumming, obviously had a great performance. How will you look to you from a coach's perspective for this to become a stepping stone for him to potentially make more starts throughout the rest of the season?
Well, if that doesn't give you confidence, I don't know what would, that you would pitch that well against a team like that, that comes in here about as hot as any team that we had faced. So, Dillon's he's a neat kid, man. He's fun to be around. He's the same kid every day. He recovers well, and so there's a lot of really good things and qualities that Dillon has as a pitcher. He just hadn't pitched well enough yet, and now you couple his qualities and those characteristics with the fact that he's performed, and I think that really vaults him into an area where he's in a good place right now, and hopefully he's a guy that we can count on to do that for us down the road.
Throughout the season, Logan's been having great power with his bat, but he's been having some issues with contact throughout the year. How have you seen him working on that?
Well, there's a lot that goes into that. I mean, you guys just don't see the time spent down there in the cages with Coach Cannon, Coach Jackson. I mean, there's a lot of work that's gone in there. You can work all you want, but you got to take the confident Logan Matthew to the batter's box in order for that to show up. I think that's probably where Logan has grown the most, is to just have that big body language and to come in and be confident and walk into that batter's box and to relax and kind of let the game come to you a little bit. When you try to force your way out of it, a lot of times when you're struggling, what do you want to do? You want to swing, right? I want to go up there and swing. You can't get a hit unless you swing. So, being able to just slow things down a little bit with some confidence, I think, has been what Logan's been able to do. Seeing the ball go out of the ballpark a couple times over the weekend, things start to build, and then you get the result tonight. The best part of tonight was him staying on the ball and getting it in the air, left on left there on a ball that was out away from him, not trying to do too much.